Hello to my massive audience of 29 or 30 subscribers last I checked. It is I, Luca. Um, it's been a long time since I posted on this channel. Been literally half my life since I posted on this channel, actually. Yeah, last time I posted something, it was literally back in high school. And it was some cringy fucking high school project I did. Um, yeah, go ahead. Feel free to check it out if you want to. I don't recommend it. Go ahead and leave a dislike and a mean comment if you want. Believe me, the videos definitely deserve it. I think I have three of them on there. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I just decided, fuck it. Why not post something new on my channel? It's been plenty of time. So I basically um I basically decided to actually post this video as a sort of act of defiance. I know, kind of a weird way to phrase it, but I'd say I posted it as an act of defiance because I explicitly don't feel like posting anything. And that's kind of what I wanted to rant about today is just the whole notion of feelings and just how disturbingly enslaved we are to just our feelings and how I'm trying to just more and more like check that aspect of myself and stop being such a goddamn fucking slave all the time to my feelings. Um, but it's a goddamn hard thing to do because I don't know. As much as like feelings are incredibly stupid fundamentally, life is kind of just a meaningless void without feelings, and I don't think that that's really a very insightful take at all. I mean, of course, feelings are really what make existence basically worthwhile, but I think basically what I'm just trying to get at is I think I've just realized lately, especially, how insidious feelings really are in just a general sense. Um, like, for instance, right now, I just keep having this feeling to stop this video right now, just call it quits. I feel like I'm just rambling incoherently, not really going anywhere. I feel like it would be better to just quit this whole thing, this whole video, and just delete it and just go back to, I don't know, fucking wasting the rest of my evening probably just playing video games and drinking some beer for St. Patrick's Day and just moving on to the, next mediocre bullshit day that follows this one. But I'm not going to do it because fuck my feelings, frankly. I'm tired of listening to them. They might be what gives life meaning, but and my life meaning in turn. But I've just realized how their agenda is, frankly, oftentimes dog shit. And I think that's especially been true lately with just modern existence. I think that one of the big fucked up things about our modern life is I think feelings have become like the new god. I mean, feelings have always mattered throughout history, obviously, but I feel like feelings nowadays, specifically dopamine, has become our new god. How everything is just, we are just such fucking dopamine and in turn feeling junkies nowadays. And I think that, I mean, I can't say for sure because I've never lived in, the past, but I just feel like nowadays more than ever, we have the hardest time with doing things for ulterior motives outside of just the dopamine chase and the feeling chase. That there's just such a lack of, I don't know, delayed gratification with the general public consensus, so to speak, and just this constant notion of, I don't know, it's just chasing that momentary high, that momentary high, that momentary high. I don't know if I'm really making sense here, but I've just found how fucking devious it is that just about everything that kind of governs our modern sort of existence, at least a mainstream existence, is just predicated on just constantly chasing that next fix of dopamine, that next feeling, but not necessarily always dopamine. It's just I don't know. I'm not a neurochemist, but just any kind of and whatever kind of high gives you enticement, whatever avoids just that the emptiness of boredom and understimulation. That's what it is. It's really stimulation avoidance. Stimulation understimulation avoidance. It's always just some kind of stimulation. It isn't always a good one, but at least it's something, just something to preoccupy you, something to chase you away from being too much in the void of thought. And I'm guilty of this shit for sure, just like anybody else. I'm not saying I'm better than this. That's why I'm doing this video right now. It's sort of an act of defiance to kind of go against this trend of mine where I'm just being just as much of a stimulation and feeling junkie as any other person. Like, I'm not even expecting this video to be very good. I mean, I can already tell it's rambling as fuck. I wouldn't blame you if you clicked off of it and went to go watch something else that is actually more stimulating, so to speak. But fuck it, I'm doing this for myself, honestly. As an exercise, I'm trying to exercise myself out of this fucking dopamine feeling junkie mindset. I'm just tired of being a slave to my feelings machinations rather than doing what I'd want my ideal self to be doing. Um, Anyways, just to get back to my point, I think I've just realized especially just how everything from the fact that like I think the economy is run on that kind of sort of notion of just dopamine chasing, feeling chasing. Um, I mean, when you think about it, like a commercial is fundamentally trying to sell you on a feeling, or maybe sell you on a, like that's kind of what materialism is. It's a means of distracting you from the feeling of emptiness in your existence. You kind of think like, oh, I've got some kind of lacking notion of my life, which is almost certainly something far more deeper and existential. But the commercial is going to try and convince you that it's as simple as like, oh no, you just need a new car, or oh no, you need to, book a trip and go to Bali for a few weeks, and that's going to takes that feeling of emptiness away from you. But then it's also with other stuff like that. Like, I think that it's become more and more the case with like a lot of interpersonal interactions as well. Like a lot of friendships, um, definitely romantic partnerships. It's just feeling and stimulation trumps everything else. And like, don't get me wrong, you obviously have to feel positive feelings to some degree for sure with like a friend or definitely a romantic partner. But like, it feels like, sorry, poor use of words, but it seems to me that that's sort of all that matters. That a lot of times people just go for friendships, go for romantic partners that basically just give them a high, and that's it. It's like people sort of treat one another almost as like drug habits. Um, and that's not always the case. I'm not a complete cynic. Like, I have seen people who are in genuinely healthy, supportive, strong romantic partnerships. I've definitely seen people in sturdy friendships. I mean, I have some myself, but it just it's just fucked up to me that on the flip side, I've definitely seen and personally encountered friendships that are just predicated on how long do you make me feel good and stimulate me, entertain me, and then as soon as that high sort of runs out, that's it. I'm just gonna move on. Um, like I think basically what I'm getting at here is there's no there's very rarely any notion of sort of sticking out rough patches with friendships or romantic partnerships. And again, I'm not saying like, if your romantic partnership or your friendship is all just one massive rough patch, it's obviously not worth pursuing that. But it's just, it seems like it's kind of too much the other extreme where, like a lot of people stick it out in, especially in romantic relationships that are just misery. Like, that's obviously insane. But it's like on the flip side, it's now like as soon as somebody's like bored or understimulated, it's just like, nope, that's it. I'm fucking done. This isn't entertaining anymore. On to the next one. It's just, I think what I'm getting at is everything is just so fucking transient. Everything is just so goddamn transient. Like, friendships are transient. Like, for the most part. Like I said, there are exceptions to the rule. I even have experienced some exceptions to the rule. Like, I do have a few good, solid friendships in my life, but I just feel like that's definitely the minority. And I don't know if, like I said, I've only been alive in the 21st century, or I guess the end of the 20th century because I was born in the 90s. So I don't know how it was before then, but it just feels to me like things have gotten worse in this regard. I just feel like that's just the way our society and our economy basically functions. We're just constantly chasing that distraction high, that distraction high, that distraction high. And, it's true with materialism, like I said, and interpersonal dynamics as well. Um, but it's also like, I don't know. I think, I mean, and then obviously, I mean, the biggest culprit, of course, is like social media. That's just by far, I mean, like, TikTok is rotting our brains in that regard. I know it sounds like such a fucking boomer for saying that. And TikTok's definitely not the only one. Just the whole apparatus of it. I mean, fuck, even YouTube's guilty of that. It's just, I don't know. It's like, okay, here's what it boils down to is like, and this just shows how guilty I am of this shit. Like, I want to read books more. And I haven't read a book in ages, and I'm even trying to be like an aspiring writer. So it's like, I know you can cringe at that considering how fucking rambling and whatever meandering this whole fucking video is. To be fair, I didn't write anything for it, but like I haven't read a book in months. I don't. I think it might have been like a year since I've last read a book, which is pathetic if for somebody trying to aspire to be a writer. And it's just again because of this dopamine junk high that my brain has become. Like I've even been thinking about how I should try and go on a trip, not take any technology with me aside from like the bare necessities like my phone, but have my phone like switched off pretty much the whole time aside from emergencies, and just go off somewhere for like a week or two, like to the countryside or some shit like that with no technology and just sit in like understimulation for, like I said, 7 days or to 14 days or something like that, and almost detox from this dopamine junkie shit that my brain has become, just to see if I could get through it. And the funny thing is, every time I think about that notion, like my body just tenses up with dread just at the notion of being bored. Like that's like it's almost like a my brain almost reacts to it like it's a mortal threat. The notion of like having to like not have a constant fix of some kind of distraction, electronic distraction specifically, because that's what it always is. It's like not having access to like video games or Netflix or YouTube videos and just like, oh my god, being away from the internet for a whole goddamn 7 days. It sounds like a goddamn nightmare. I mean, it's. I mean, the more I like, even when I just say it out loud right now, it sounds fucking pathetic. It's insane to me that people went their entire lives for the vast, 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 vast majority of human history without any of this stuff, and we're fine. I mean, they weren't because there was other aspects of human history that are fucking grotesquely horrible, but they weren't bad. Like they weren't doing badly in that regard, at least. People weren't suffering from dopamine junkieism. They weren't craving a constant stimulation of YouTube shorts and video games and whatever the fuck because that shit didn't even exist back then, and they weren't missing out on it because they didn't have it. But I don't know. I think that this take of mine isn't really a very hot take at all. I think that this is a really common take amongst a lot of people, but I just kind of felt like I said, this entire video that I'm doing right now isn't really meant to come off as a particularly original or insightful thing. Like I said, I wouldn't even blame somebody for clicking off and just downvoting this video as just being dull bullshit. But you know what? If you've gotten this far, I'm gonna give you credit for defying your feeling to click off. If you're one of those people, or if you did find this compelling, then I guess that's good too. Um, I don't know. I don't really feel like I'm doing such a good job about making this compelling. Anyways, it's at the 14-minute mark. I don't know how much more I want to say. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I guess what was the point of this video? Yeah, to do an act of defiance, and I think to just try and I'm just trying to like start this as a step to exercise me doing stuff that I don't feel like doing but know I should be doing. Like I'm going to tie that into the fact that I've kind of just, in addition to not reading, I've sort of abandoned writing. I've been doing some art, but I should really be more deliberate about it. So yeah, I guess this whole thing is just me taking a step in sort of dopamine detoxing. Um, Dopamine detoxing, but at the same time, I'm gonna have some alcohol. So, trying to get rid of one drug craving while indulging in another. Whatever, it's fine. I haven't drank in like a month, anyways. But yeah, Yeah, maybe this is just a means of me to keep myself in check, sort of an exercise, so to speak. And I don't know, maybe I'll make something eventually compelling out of all this shit. I've been watching a lot of these sort of rant channels shitting on our modern existence, and I kind of felt like sort of inspired me to do my own 2 cents on it. So I don't know. This is the start of something. We'll see if it goes anywhere. We'll see if anybody finds this even remotely compelling. I've got a lot more, much more hot takes, I think, and more interesting shit to talk about than just this. Because I don't, like I said, I don't think this is particularly. This is not a particularly original or insightful perspective on things at all. Um, but yeah, there you go. So there you go. This is my I'm trying to make that a resolution. Do one thing I don't feel like doing every single day, but that I want to be doing. And you know what? I encourage you all watching, if you've gotten to this point, to try the same as well. You know, just fuck your feelings for one moment. Fuck your feelings and just, do something out of pure discipline alone. And something outside of like work, something outside of something that you have to do for like basic survival. Just do something that like is in the back of your head that you're like, I want to want this, but I don't want it, if that makes sense. Like my soul, for lack of a better word, sorry to get like metaphysical about it, but like I know my soul wants this, but my brain is just like, nah, fuck this. It's not dopamine inducing enough. I don't want to do it. But you know, in your core, you want it. You just don't feel that you want it, if that makes sense. So, anyways, that's that. This is just, I guess this is sort of a meta video in that sense that I did. This video is, in and of itself, my exercise of the day, and I'm definitely repeating myself now. So, that's that. I don't know if I'm going to upload this or not. Maybe I will, just to embarrass myself. Feel free to fucking subscribe to my channel of pathetically small channel. Uh, and I don't know. Take care or don't subscribe to my channel. Fucking give it a downvote. Tell me to go fuck myself. Say that I'm just a dumbass who's just rambling incoherently and has nothing fucking worthwhile to say, and that I should have stuck with my feelings of not feeling like doing this video and just never uploaded or recorded anything. Anyways, all right. Take care, everybody.